our view is that this is the social issue of our society today. And as we talk about the climate crisis and biodiversity as the existential threat to the globe, to the Earth, I really believe that pluralism is the existential question that's facing us as the human society, the inhabitants of the Earth. And I believe they're really obviously closely connected, as you've mentioned. When you sort of ask what are the challenges at the moment, I think as we live in a time of such global scarcity and anxiety, there has been a tendency to contract. Societies, communities contract to protect a space that they feel is shrinking, that there is a fear that there isn't enough, so we have to protect what we have. And I think His Highness's vision, and really the vision of our center, is that diversity is the only way that societies will thrive and be successful in the future. We need to guard against this instinct to contract and instead reach out. Cooperation, social cooperation across different communities, with different perspectives around the table, is the only way that societies will succeed in the incredibly difficult challenges that we're facing, from the climate crisis to other issues around the globe. The only way to deal with those things is through cooperation, but we have to deal with difference in that. I think the challenge that we face right now is that there is a real fear. And you mentioned in some of the preparatory documents this question of how do you engage the majority, and you were asking about how you engage the majority in Brazil. And I think this is one of the really key pieces on pluralism. I note that the title for today is In Defense of Pluralism, and I'd personally like to see pluralism be almost on the offense, that we're making a case not just to those of us who are here at the forum, those of us who believe in multilateralism, to believe in cooperation, but to those who aren't yet convinced, and to bring it down to a very human, basic level, and not keep it at the point of government policies and so forth. That in our everyday lives, there are choices that we can make to include. There are choices that can be made in terms of how you engage others to feel like they belong in your society, and that can happen in your schools, that can happen in your cities, and that can happen nationwide. And we all need to look very consciously at those choices. One of the things that we're very proud of at the center that we're able to do is we sponsor a Global Pluralism Award, where we bring pluralism champions from around the world to talk very concretely about the things that they're doing every day, whether or not it's helping to educate young people in the different different countries in the Balkans about the very different perspectives on the very troubled past that the former Yugoslavia has had, and helping students there see the perspectives from different sides and not only from potentially the dominant narrative of their own country. So teaching young people to have a pluralistic mindset from the outset gives us the next generation that may be able to take this forward in a way that we can't. But I have to say, I was reminded by a young person the other day that it's fine to educate young people, but actually it's the older people that need to be educated right now. And we need to really find spaces where we can engage on a very human level about how pluralism works for everyone. And the majority doesn't have to give something up for minorities to be part of a society. And I also very much take your point as a woman that we're not the minority, that it's the difference that we're talking about. And we're not just talking about integrating one minority into something else, but it's how you live together with all of the wonderful complexities that is the human society.